starring Lee Marvin.
You with something?
Yeah, I'll have that box of biscuits up there. Open the register.
Don't hurt me. I'm an old woman.
Just do what you're told. You live to be older. Open the register. Just give me the bills. Now give me that box you keep behind that row of cans on that shelf.
What box?
Don't get clever with me. I've been watching you every night for a week when you close up.
Johnny, while you're at it, get an extra pack of cigarettes for me, huh?
Please don't take it.
Come on, come on. I'm sorry for you. Die on me, Johnny.
What are you doing? He's getting away. What are you doing? You let him get away.
Call an ambulance. Never mind, it's too late.
Now, I've been robbed of $1,200, and you let that man get away with my money. You knew you could stop him. His car was stalled there, you coward. I'm going to have you thrown off the force. You're not a cop. You're just a coward.
Car 52. Officer Maxwell, I want to report a robbery and murder.
A cop had been killed. While attempting to apprehend a criminal in the process of committing a holdup, Officer John W. Wilburn had been shot and killed. The entire department was alerted. Robbery and homicide were on the job immediately, and we were asked to assist. My name is Frank Ballinger, Detective Lieutenant M Squad, a special detail of the Chicago Police.
He didn't even try to stop the man who robbed me. He just hid in the doorway.
Would you care to comment on Mrs. Williams' statement, officer?
Not now.
You mean you're not going to answer those charges?
Just a moment, please.
Maxby, Chicago Express.
Well, Ballinger, Police Department. Just what charges are you referring to?
There seems to be a misunderstanding, sir.
Not on my part, there isn't. When the shooting started, this cop here runs and hides next door. If he hadn't been afraid to stick his head out, he could have got the guy that took my money easy.
To put it more succinctly, Lieutenant, I think the official phraseology is dereliction of duty and cowardice.
Those are pretty stiff charges, aren't they?
I don't make the charges, Lieutenant. I just report them.
We'd worked together for 3 years. Johnny was my best friend.
Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny Wilbur, his partner, the police officer was killed here tonight.
Lieutenant, I'm merely trying to find out if Officer Maxwell has anything to say in his own defense.
It'll be in my report in the morning, sir.
Refuse to comment.
Now, if you don't mind, we have some police work to do, huh? You get a look at the killer?
I didn't really see him, Lieutenant. It happened so fast. Johnny was already hit, bleeding badly.
I can describe him, Lieutenant. I'll never forget that face as long as I live. And I can tell you the kind of car he was driving and which way he went.
Don't you find it a little odd, Lieutenant, that a plain citizen saw and remembered everything, while a trained police officer apparently saw nothing? Or was that because he was where he couldn't see or be seen?
You know, I'd appreciate it if you'd get out of here and let us get something done. Captain. Is the department going to stand
All
still
right,
for
Frank,
this?
we've all seen the article. Oh, you know Miss McAfee and Deputy Commissioner Brandon?
Good to see you again, Frank. And in answer to your question, no, the department does not intend to stand still. That's why I'm here.
Well, what about the statements in the paper?
We've already gone over that with Miss McAfee. She only reported the facts as she saw them last night. There was no attempt to editorialize. We had a meeting with her editor this morning. He's promised his full cooperation in straightening this matter out.
I don't think it's going to help us much, Commissioner. The story's already in print. It reflects on every officer on the force.
That's why it has to be straightened out one way or the other. And that doesn't mean a whitewash of Officer Maxwell either.
May I quote you on that, Commissioner?
You certainly may, Miss McAfee. We want the facts, and we want you to have them, too.
Commissioner wants us to take over the investigation, Frank. I'm going to give it to you.
Me?
Yes, Lieutenant. Everyone felt that since M Squad worked independently of any other department, that yours would be the most unbiased approach.
Mrs. Williams got a good look at the killer's face. Was she able to pick anybody out of the mug books?
Oh, sure. She made 2 positive identifications. They're both serving life at Stateville. Her keen powers of observation seem to have failed since last night.
Yeah, what about the car?
Yeah, we found it.
Stolen.
No prints.
You wanted to see me, Captain?
Oh, yes, come in. This is Officer George Maxwell, Commissioner Brandon, George.
Sit down, Maxwell. Now, go ahead, sit down. Captain Gray and I have been going over your report carefully. On the record, would you mind telling us why you refused to give these statements to Miss McAfee last night?
Well, I was pretty shook up. Johnny getting in like that, and with that woman screaming about me hiding and everything. Well, I just didn't want to see it kicked around in the papers, sir. That's all. I thought it'd be best if I said it in my regular report.
I see. You said that you didn't get a clear look at the suspect and that he escaped in a car.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you try to stop him?
I did, Captain. We exchanged fire, a couple of rounds. My gun jammed. It's all in my report, sir.
Maxwell, Mrs. Williams said that the killer had difficulty starting his car and that you could have taken him easily.
I think he did have trouble getting started. Well, as I said, my gun was jammed.
Can we see your gun? Well, it's hard to tell. It's not jammed now, but it could have been fired.
Was it because your gun was jammed that you hid under the steps?
I didn't hide, sir.
According to Mrs. Williams' statement, you hid behind the steps of the building next door.
I don't care what Mrs. Williams said. I didn't hide. I had a choice to make, and I made it. Johnny was badly hurt, and, well, I had to choose between trying to save his life or going after the suspect.
Mrs. Williams said he was already dead when you got to him.
That's not true, sir. But I guess it doesn't make any difference now.
You're wrong, Maxwell. It makes a great deal of difference. Till this thing is straightened out, the entire department is on trial. If what you said isn't true, then every citizen of Chicago has the right to question the integrity and loyalty and courage of every officer. I must ask for your badge. You'll have every opportunity to clear yourself. In the meantime, consider yourself under suspension.
That'll be all for now, Maxwell.
Just one more thing, Lieutenant. I want Miss McAfee to go along with you on this investigation whenever possible.
But, sir...
I don't want anything, good or bad, kept from the press and the public. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Well, in that case, even deputy commissioners have reports to fill out. Bye, Miss McAfee.
Thank you, sir. I have to check with my office, Lieutenant. Shall we meet after lunch?
I don't eat much.
In that case, 1 o'clock here.
I know how you feel, Frank, but don't be too hard on the girl, huh? She's only doing what she thinks is right.
Sure. I first checked Officer Maxwell's personnel record. In the department 6 years, married and with one small child. He was a second-generation cop. His father had been in the department 25 years before being wounded and retired. Next, I returned to the scene of the crime, where Mrs. Williams reenacted what had taken place the night before. One thing became obvious. From her point of view, it could have looked as she claimed, that Maxwell was hiding. At 1, I picked up Sheila McAfee, and together we began where some people end, the city morgue. We checked on Maxwell's statements, that he had tried to save his partner's life. Dr. Halstead said this could be true, that there were bruises at an arterial point on the corpse, and you can't bruise a dead body. Our next stop was Officer Maxwell's home, where we met his father and his wife.
George should be back soon. If you'll excuse me, I think I'm needed elsewhere.
Sure.
All right, sweetheart. Sweetheart?
You know, when George was a little boy, I always used to tell him that a police badge was a badge of courage.
Well, you have a citation on the wall to prove that.
George told me what happened last night, Lieutenant. I read your story in the paper, Miss McAfee.
Mr. Maxwell, there's a...
I'm sure that... Now, I don't know what really happened, but there is one thing I'm certain of. If my son ran to save his own skin rather than apprehend a criminal, then he deserves every punishment the law can provide. There's no room on the force for a yellow cop.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant, Miss McAfee. I wasn't expecting visitors. I was down the street in the garage working on my car.
Oh, I'm sorry, George. I didn't know you had company. I moved the timer. I think it'll be okay now.
Well, Bob, I'd like you to meet these people. Miss McAfee, the Express. Lieutenant Ballinger, M Squad. Bob Nash.
Don't I know you?
Bob served time, if that's what you mean, Lieutenant.
What was the charge?
Car theft. I've known Bob since we were kids, Lieutenant. We're friends.
George sent him up.
And he got me a job when I get out.
That's another thing I taught him, Lieutenant. Just because he's a cop doesn't mean that he can't believe in a friend and help him to remedy his mistakes.
Well, I don't remember anything on the books against that. Do you, Miss McAfee?
No.
I dropped Sheila McAfee at her paper and headed back for my office. On the way, I thought over what Maxwell had said earlier. How he'd had to decide between trying to save his partner's life and apprehending the killer. He made no excuse for his choice. By the time I arrived at M Squad, I knew I wanted out. I didn't like this assignment. I did like George Maxwell.
You like the man. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you want me to tell a trial board, that you like him?
Look, Captain, I didn't ask for this assignment. As far as I'm concerned, I'm fed up with the whole thing. I don't like seeing some guy that I like and believe in chewed up by some girl reporter trying to make a name for herself.
Frank, you're forgetting something. A police officer's been publicly charged with cowardice. Now, if the charge is true, it's got to be proven. He's got to be thrown out like a bad apple. And if it isn't true, that's got to be proven, too.
Look, Captain, I am no Solomon. I can't look inside a man and see whether he's a coward or not. And with the facts we've got, that's impossible.
All right, then we got to get more facts. This can't look like a whitewash. The papers will be all over us.
The lab boys come up with anything?
No.
What about ballistics?
Well, the slugs from Wilbur's body don't match anything we've got on file. It's too bad Maxwell didn't get a good look at the killer. Nobody in the neighborhood saw anything.
Except Mrs. Williams.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that face as long as I live.
You know, Frank, a lot of people get confused by mug shots. We've had it happen before.
So?
I was just thinking, why don't we try the composite picture build-up? We got nothing to lose.
We only got one thing to lose, Captain, if we don't come up with something. A good cop. In some cases, the memory of the victim becomes our only clue to a new lead. This was one of those cases. We brought Mrs. Williams down to M Squad and explained to her how, by putting together different types of facial characteristics, a composite picture of a subject can be built. Slowly, after much trial and error, the face of our killer took shape. How's that nose? What's that one?
That's it. That's the kind of nose he had.
All right, now, what kind of a mouth did he have?
Well, it was a kind of mean mouth, but real mean.
Only what were the shape of the lips?
No.
How's that?
Looks very interesting, Lieutenant.
How's it going, Frank?
We're getting there.
That's it. That's him.
All right. Let's get a hair. But he had a hat on, didn't he?
Yes.
Well, how about that?
That's him. That's the man who robbed my store.
Lieutenant?
Are you positive, Mr. Williams?
Absolutely.
What is it, Frank? You know this guy?
Yeah, I know him. I saw him just a couple hours ago.
Where?
At George Maxwell's house. Williams' positive identification of Robert Nash left us with only two possible conclusions. Either Officer Maxwell was in on the burglary with Nash, or he had recognized him and deliberately allowed him to escape. All right, Mr. Williams, thank you very much. Charlie, would you run Mr. Williams back to Stockton Test, please? This was no longer an investigation of a police officer's possible cowardice. We now wanted George Maxwell as an accessory to murder.
Lieutenant?
Well, go ahead and say it. You were right and I was wrong. I hope you and your big story live happily ever after.
Look, I'd like to hold that story up a day or so. That is, if you don't give it to the other papers.
Why?
Well, I was hoping that somehow, some way we could still prove that Maxwell wasn't guilty. You know, I can't believe after meeting his wife and talking to his father and talking to him this morning that he could do a thing like this.
You know, you jumped back and forth across that fence like you were playing skip rope.
Oh, come on. You think you made a mistake. Can't I make one?
Okay. I guess I owe you an apology.
No more than I owe you. So I learned a thing or two since last night. Now, what about the story? Can you hold it up?
Well, actually, we weren't planning to release the story to anybody until we cleared up the case.
Can I use your phone?
Sure thing. Failing to locate either Nash or Maxwell immediately, we put out an APB for both men. We also staked out Maxwell's house, Nash's apartment, and the garage where he worked. Within half an hour, George Maxwell was picked up at Central Headquarters. Not knowing we were looking for him, he had gone there to get some personal effects from his locker. He was rushed to M Squad, where Captain Gray and I started taking him apart, piece by piece.
All right, let's go over it again. How long have you known Nash?
Most of my life.
When he got out of jail, you got him a job.
Yes.
You got him an apartment and gave him a grub stake.
Yes.
Why?
I told you, we'd been friends since we were kids.
Oh, that's why you let him get away.
I didn't know it was Bob.
Well, how's your eyesight?
Fine.
Night vision?
Fine.
You graduated from the Academy with top honors in marksmanship?
Yes.
Did you miss Nash in a 20-yard drop?
My gun was jammed.
Your gun was jammed.
So I can't help it if you don't believe me.
Start helping it, Maxwell. This isn't a trial board inquiry. It's murder.
What do you want me to admit? Something that isn't true?
How did Nash know where that old lady kept her money?
Well, how should I know?
Maybe you told him it's on your beat.
Look, I'm telling the truth. I didn't know Nash was the killer.
All right. Let's try it again from the beginning.
I've already told it a half dozen times.
Might have to tell it a dozen more times till we get the right answer. Your partner's hit, you got Nash in your sights and you miss him.
I told you I was helping my partner.
Which partner?
Look, there's no point in this. Lock me up, put me on trial, I'd still have to tell the same story.
Tell us again.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we'll get right on it. Frank. Stakeout spotted Nash.
Where?
He's holed up in that garage where he works. They can't take him.
Why not?
Well, he's got Maxwell's wife and kid with him.
Joan? The baby?
Better get somebody up here to take care of him. Let's get going.
Frank, Captain, you gotta let me go with you. Look, it doesn't matter about me, but my wife and baby. You gotta take me with you.
Are you forgetting which team you're on, Maxwell?
Now, look, I can help. I know Nash better than anybody. Maybe I can talk him into giving up.
I don't know, Frank. He's got a point. You know, Nash has killed one man. We can't risk any more.
Okay, let's go.
I got your message, thanks. Gee, I'm sorry about your wife and child. Are they all right?
Well, as far as we know, Miss McAfee.
How are you going to get them out?
Well, Nash has a gun, and with a woman and child in there, who knows?
Hey,
Hey, coppers! Make up your mind. You got 5 minutes left.
What does he mean?
Well, he's given us a deadline.
Nash wants over there in the car. Otherwise, he's threatened to kill Mrs. Maxwell and the child.
How awful. Captain, let me go in there. I know him. I'll talk him out of it.
Not a chance, Maxwell.
That's my family in there. I know you're not going to let him get away. I'm the only one who can help you.
Well, he's right, Frank. We haven't got much choice.
Okay, Maxwell. But you're on your own.
We can't wait too long, Maxwell.
Bob Nash, it's me, George. Let me in. Bob, I'm alone. I'm not armed. Let me in. I got to talk to you.
How do I know you're telling the truth?
He talked his way in.
And he's liable to get himself killed.
I better give him a hand.
Come on. Come on. In. Come on. Come on. Hurry up. Up against that bench. Come on.
Don't try anything clever.
Now, George, tell me what was so important you want to talk to me about.
Where's the baby?
In the car.
Hurry up, buddy boy. You haven't told me what was so important. Give myself up. You must be kooky or something. I'm a cop killer, remember?
I remember.
Too bad you didn't recognize me that night. You wouldn't be in this mess now.
You can't be this rotten. I had faith in you, Bob. Was I just stupid?
No. You're just loyal. You could have had me the other night. If you hadn't stopped to help your friend. You might even have been a hero. You know what your problem is, George? You're just too nice a guy.
Why don't you let us go, Bob? After all George has done for you.
Done for me? Don't you mean done to me? Who was it took 2 years of my life when he sent me up to the pen? Who, huh? I'll tell you who. My old buddy boy, George.
It was my job. I had to do it.
Well, I have to do this, buddy boy. I have to get out of here with a whole skin. And I'm getting out, too. But before I do, you're going to pay me back for those lousy years in the pen.
Bob.
No, not you. I'm not going to kill you, George. And not the kid. I'll take him along for insurance. Her, George. She's the one. She's the one who's going to die.
No! Nash, hold it!
Frank?
Sorry, Maxwell. I heard the whole thing. How's the arm?
It'll be okay.
Sounds like that third-generation cop needs a bottle.
Courage and people. I'd learned a lot about both in the past 2 days. So had Sheila McAfee. But most important, to the citizens of the city of Chicago, it was reaffirmed that a cop's badge is a badge of courage.
Squad. Starring Lee Marvin.